All right. And once we're familiar with styled components basics, now let me do a little bit of spring cleaning where I want to remove these things from app.js. And I think I'm going to remove the heading one as well. And then let's see how we can apply styled component in the actual React component. Because at the moment, we just created two separate React components by the name of button, which is nice. You can keep them in the separate files and all that. But the reality is that, of course, you'll be creating a React component with some logic, not just styled components where you have a little bit of styles and basic logic. And the way we do that is the same way, where again, we go with import, then we're looking for styled, and we're looking for styled components. So we get the default export, and then we want to create some kind of component, correct? We want to create that styled component. And it's always my preference to call this a wrapper. And I'll talk about it a little bit more once I show you where all the styles for the project are. But basically, this signals to me that this is going to be styled component with just the styles. And then we go with styled. And again, we need to come up with some type of element. And in my case, I'm going to go with main. Why? Well, because I'm already wrapping everything in the main tags. So since my wrapper is going to be doing the same thing, it's going to be wrapping the entire component, I might as well go with the main tags over here. And then we want to scroll up a little bit. And then instead of the main tags, we're going to go with wrapper. And what's really, really cool is the fact that now I can select all the elements that are inside my React component. And what's even better, I can select the classes as well. Now, there's more features. You can also nest things like in Sass. But again, this is not styled components course, so we'll just focus on the basics. And again, what is going to happen if we navigate to the big screen right now? What you'll notice in the root here is the fact that this main one essentially will have that unique class. Now, we don't see anything at the moment because there's no styles, but if I start targeting the HTML elements, in my case, I'm going to be looking for the nav. And if we apply some styles, let's go here with width. And this is the case where I'm going to use the CSS variable, which is going to be the fluid width. So if you want to take a look at the value, please be my guest. Again, this is not going to be a CSS course. This is pretty much going to be the only component where we set up the CSS together. So we set up fluid width. We also want to go with max width, which also is going to be a CSS variable. Then we want to place it always in the center. So we're going to go with margin 0 and auto. Then let's add a height. And I have a specific height for the nav. Again, that is set up as a CSS variable. So we're going to go here with nav height. And then we want to display it as flex. So display, and we're looking for flex, and I want to always align it in the center. So we're going to go with align items and center. So once we have applied this, and as a side note, as you can see here, I messed it up on my spelling. This should be nav height. Now my nav is, I believe, 6 REMs. And you know what? Also, this is not a width. This should be a. So once we save it, this is the nav. This is how it's going to look like. And again, on the big screen, what you'll notice is this class. So what happens if I have another styled component, and then in there I'll have the nav, and I apply the styles, they won't be colliding because of this unique class. Because now for my name one, I have this main class, and then inside of it, when I have this nav, notice how we're targeting it. So we have this unique class, and then we're looking for the nav. Hopefully that is clear. So now let's keep on styling. And I want to add styles to this page. Like I said, this container is already a global class that we're using. But now I want to apply some styles to that page. So we're going to go here with page class. And then we're looking for min height. And we'll use calc for that. And I'll say 100% of the screen size. And we'll just subtract the nav height. Why? Well, because I'm using the nav height already for my navigation. So let's go here with nav and then height, like so. Let's save that. And then we want to go with display grid, since I have 2-column layout here. So I have my page, and this is going to be the first column, the info, and then the second one will be my image. So let's go here with display grid. Now this is for the small screen. So there's going to be no columns at the moment. Let's go with align items and let's set it equal to a center. And then also I want to add a little bit of negative margin to the top because I just want to lift it up a little bit. So I'm going to go here with margin top and then -3 REMs. And again, the reason why my look is so messed up because I have zoomed in. And also keep in mind that I have this image, which I'm going to remove in a second. So once we're done with the page, let's style heading 1. And then in here, let's go for font weight and 700. And then, like I mentioned, we can actually do the nesting instead of the styled components, just like with Sass. So essentially, I have heading 1, and I want to style the span that is inside of that heading 1. And the way we can do that, we can go with span here. So now this is going to be targeting only the spans that are inside heading 1. And then let me go with my primary color. So primary, and then we'll set it equal to 500. Let's save that. That should be our heading. And then let's just add a little bit of color to a paragraph. So let's go over here. Let's say color var, and I have the gray color for that. And I'm going to set it up equal to a gray of 600. So that's going to be my paragraph. But then, like I said, on a small screen, I don't want to display the image. So I'm going to go with main img and then display and none. That's going to be for the small screen. And then only once we get to 992, I want to set up a 2-column layout. And then I also want to display the main image. How we can do that in style component? Well, we go here with media. And then we don't need to add the screen. We just go with min width. Min width is equal to 992 pixels. And then what do we want to do? We want to grab the page here. And we want to go with grid template columns 1 fraction. 1 fraction. So this is our 2-column layout. And then let's add a little bit of gap in between. So I'm going to go with column gap and we'll set it equal to 3 REMs. And then once we get to the big screen, I also want to display the image. So I'm going to go here with main img and let's just go with display and block. Once we save it, what we should see is this look on a big screen. And then if I make this one smaller, notice how the image disappears. And basically this is our small screen layout. Congrats on completing the landing page and in the process learning the basics of styled components. And let me emphasize one more time where this is going to be the only component that we style together because as you can see, it doesn't have even that many styles, but we already spent significant time on this. So starting with the next video, I'll show you where you can get all the styles for the project.